Okay, so we're in the JP Logistics Cessna 152 at Lydd. I'm just going to switch off my co-pilot by pressing that yellow button. There she goes. Closing the doors. Okay. Lydd Airport. We're going to start up. I'm going to hide my yoke. Switch to fuel on. Switch my battery and my alternator on. I'm going to tell people that I'm in the aircraft by putting the nav light on and the beacon light on because we're going to be starting up. I'm going to switch my radios on. Well, they're already on. I'm going to put this radio on and I'm going to put my transponder on. Okay. I'm going to put the mixture full rich. I'm going to crack the throttle open by 1/4 of an inch or so. I'm going to look around. Open my window, shout, "Clear prop," which you really do. Then I'm going to pull the key round to the right.
Clear prop.
And hold it in. There we go. So the engine's still running. Check that we've got oil pressure, which we do, and the oil temperature should be rising. Right, fuel I've checked already, 66%, we're on tabs. Okay, and we're going to idle the aircraft at about 1200 RPM, which, as I explained, stops the spark plugs from fouling when you're on the ground. Okay, we're going to set. Make sure the takeoff trim is set, and it is. See, there's a trim indicator here, just there, and it's set to take off. And I'm going to give it one stage of flap, which is 10 degrees on the Cessna 152. And I'm just going to check visually that they are both down, that I haven't got asymmetric deployment. Tell you what, let's put some cloud on, because that is always nice to see. Okay, let's put some cloud on. A few clouds, there we go. Okay, so now I'm going to put the taxi light on. I'm going to take the parking brake off, which is this button here. Give it a few revs and the aircraft should start to move. There we go. And I'm going to use my rudder pedals to keep on that yellow line. I'm not going to taxi fast, just nice and sedately. Should be walking pace, but there we go. Going to keep following the yellow line. Keep following the yellow line. Okay, we're going to go around to the right here. Along the terminal. I've flown here in real life many times. It's a very hard airport to find. From the air, that is. Okay, so we're coming up to the hold. There's the hold coming up now. Okay, and before we go into the hold, we're just going to stop and just do 1 or 2 checks. We should do power checks, but we're not going to do that. It's a simulator and you'll get bored. So 1200 RPM, we don't want the engine to foul. Okay, so fuel is on. There's no fuel pump to worry about. We're going to put the strobe light on and the landing light on. Taxi light can come off. Flaps are down, mixture is full rich. Carb heat is off. When you pull the carb heat out, it adds a bit of hot air. Hot air is it causes a reduction in RPM, so with carb heat out you don't get quite the full power that you need. So for takeoff, carb heat stays in, and you only really use carb heat when you're descending. So just follow the yellow line. We're going to get to the runway. We're going to line up. Here we go. Okay, nice and gently. And we could do a rolling start, but we're not. We're going to come to a stop. We're going to do one more check. Runway heading 040. Runway 040. the DI is showing me at 040, and my compass is showing me at 040. So we know that we're aligned, that all our direction indicators are working. Okay, so very slowly, I'm going to just build up the RPM. Okay, and I'm going to keep it on the center line by using a little bit of right rudder. Okay, a little bit of right rudder just to keep on that center line. And I'm going to just watch my speed build. 45 knots we've got. 50 knots, 55 knots. Rotate very gently, just barely rotating. And up the aircraft comes. Okay, we're going to keep this position, runway heading. You see there's a cloud just slightly ahead of me. Just there. I'm going to keep that in the same position on the dashboard. On the coaming, I should say. Okay, and we're going to climb at about 65 knots. And if my speed goes too low, I'm going to put the nose down to let the speed build up again. Okay, there we go. 300 feet, flaps are coming up. Just passing 400, but that's okay. And now, 500 feet, we're going to turn right 90 degrees to what's called the crosswind leg. And we're going to roll out at 130 degrees. Which is exactly 90 degrees off from the runway heading. There we go, 130. 130, there we go. Still climbing, trying to keep 65 knots. Okay, and if my speed comes too low, just lower the nose a little bit. Okay, and at 1,000 feet, we're going to turn downwind, which is again another right hand 90 degree turn. Okay, and 1,000 feet we've got, so let's go round. Okay, we're going to roll out on the heading of 220, and I'm going to reduce my power now to about 2300 RPM. Okay, 220, 220. That's 210, that's okay. So we're going to look to our right. There's the runway down there. Okay, down there. Okay, so we're downwind at the moment at 1,000 feet. We're just going to do some checks. So brakes are off and the pressure is good. Don't want to land with the brakes on. The undercarriage is down, well it's fixed in this aircraft. The mixture is full rich. The fuel is on and sufficient for a go around, which it is. Got 2/3 tanks. Hatches and harnesses are closed, and the carb heat is in at the moment. We've got clearance from the tower to do a circuit. We're downwind at the moment, and we're just coming across what's called the numbers. That is the upwind end of the runway. And when that gets 45 degrees behind us, we can start our base turn, which is another 90 degree turn to our right. Okay, a little bit low, but that's okay. Okay, so there's the runway. Okay, so we can now start our 90 degree turn to the right. Okay. 310. Reduce my power. Carb heat can come out. 2 stages of flap. That's 20 degrees. Okay. And if I look to my right, we should see the runway just hiding a little bit behind the pillar there, but you should see it just there. Okay. There we go. That's nice. Low. My speed's a bit low, so just going to give it a bit of power. Okay. And there we go. We're going to roll round now to runway heading 040 for finals. Okay. Reduce the power a little bit. Okay. And now I'm assured of making the runway. I know I'm going to land. Full flap. Okay, full flap. And try and keep my speed at about 65 knots, which is about 70 at the moment. 65 knots, okay. And I control my speed by lowering the nose to gain speed, raising it to lower speed. Okay, so there we go, 60 knots. We're good. Just coming over the threshold now. I'm going to cut the power. And I'm going to hold the aircraft off. Hold it off. Hold it off. Hold it off. Hold it off. Don't let it land. Don't let it land. And it just touches down on its own. One stage of flap coming up. Two stages of flap coming up. Full power. We've got 10 degrees of flap. Full power. 50 knots. 55 knots. Rotate very gently. There we go. On the runway heading. Let's look at the cloud to aim for. There's a cloud. Follow that little round cloud there. Okay, 040 on the heading. I want to maintain about 65 knots. Just lower the nose to let the aircraft accelerate. Remember that all takeoffs and climbs in little aircraft are done at full power. Okay, 300 feet. Flaps are coming up. Okay, the aircraft will sink a little because it's got a little. You reduce the flaps, you take the flaps away, and you lose a bit of lift. And we're now at 450 feet, so I'm at safe altitude. I'm going to start our right-hand 90-degree turn. We're going to roll out at 130 degrees. There we go, 130 degrees. Okay. And a bit slow, so I'm going to let the aircraft accelerate. And you can actually trim the aircraft to fly at a certain speed, which is what I'm doing at the moment. So I've got my trim button held in, and if I let go of my yoke, the aircraft is going to sit there at 65 knots, and I don't have to do anything because it's trimmed for that speed. Okay, we're coming to 1,000 feet. I'm going to turn right now and level off. We're going to take up a heading of 220. And reduce power to about 2300. 220, we're going to roll out, downwind. There we go, 220. Look to my right, there's the runway. Okay, so we'd make a call to the tower, say Golf Juliet November Papa Lima, downwind for either a touch and go or a full stop landing. So downwind for a full stop landing. And let's say continue your approach report when you're on final. That's what we'll do. Downwind checks, brakes are off, the pressure is good, the undercarriage is down, the mixture is rich, the fuel is on and sufficient for a go around, the hatches and harnesses are closed, and the landing lights and clearance we've got. So when the runway is 45 degrees behind me, we're just to beam the numbers now, so we're not quite there yet. And we're still on a heading of 220. Okay, there we go. So the airport is now about 45 degrees behind me, and I'm going to roll round to the right for the base leg. Okay, and I'm going to reduce my power to idle. Carpet is still out. That's a mistake I made. I should have put that in. Okay, rolling out on the 310. 2 stages of flaps. Okay, and there's the runway just there. Just there. Okay. 2 stages of flaps. Okay. Add a little bit of power, getting a bit low now. Okay. And now we're going to start a gentle turn. Always gentle turns when you get the flaps out, because otherwise you'll stall. Okay, nice gentle turn. Nice gentle turn. Rolling out. For finals, so now we'd make a call. Lydd Tower, Golf, Papa Lima, finals to land. Okay, and they'd say clear to land, runway 04, and you'd say we're clear to land, runway 04. Right, we're assured of landing now, so carb heat is going in, which I should have done before. Flaps are coming down to full. Okay, keeping the centre line, keeping the runway in the same position on the glare shield, on the window. Okay, and as I come over the numbers, reducing power now to idle, and I'm just going to hold the aircraft off, hold it 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 off. We do that so it just settles itself into the ground. There we go. Right, so
excellent landing, sir.
Gentle braking, follow the yellow line off, and once we're clear of the active, we might report that to the tower, but they can probably see us. Follow the yellow line, follow the yellow line. And we're just going to come to a stop as soon as we get past the hold, because anything this side of the hold is considered to be the active runway. So we don't come to stop now, we just come to stop the other side of the hold, which is here. And now we're going to stop. The reason we're going to stop is because we're going to clean the aircraft up a bit. So we've got full flaps still, so with flaps up, we're going to put our taxi light on, the landing light off, and the strobe light can come off, and the transponder go to standby. Okay, that's all good, and I should have kept my RPM at 1200. You can tell I've forgotten most of my flying. Okay, and now he's going to follow the yellow line back to where the parking was. Okay. There we go. Yellow line. Oh, we got a marshaller. See the marshaller there? Follow the yellow line. There's the marshaller. Oh, there's a car in the way. Go out of the way. No, we don't want to blind the marshaller because our lights are pretty bright. Now switch my taxi light off. Just take the other marshaller because that car is in the way. Nice and slowly, because we definitely don't want to come to ribbons, do we? Nice and slowly. Okay, I thought he was going to marshal us, but obviously he wasn't. Parking brakes coming on. 1200 in the RPM. Okay, and we're just going to let the aeroplane idle for a little bit, just to get rid of any sooty deposits. Okay. That'll do, and to cut the engine we pull the mixture back. Here it comes, and when it's all the way back it's lean cut off. The engine is now dead. Okay, and we're going to switch the fuel off. We're going to switch our lights off. All the lights are off. And going to turn the ignition off and switch the alternator and the battery off. Okay, we're done. Open the doors and step outside. There we go. I hope that was useful, and give me a call or text if you have any questions. Okay, bye now.